Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Happy Thursday. Good to see. The sun is shining. We're all still here. Still going on. The world is falling apart around us, but we are all still here enjoying food. What can we do? Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome to my kitchen. Hope you're all having a good day. I've got to say, this morning, walking where I am was absolutely beautiful. The water was flat, the air temperature was cool, but feeling like it's going to get warm. And it felt like I was somewhere far away for a moment. There was just something about the air this morning that felt, I don't know, holiday-ish, just for a moment. And then we come back and watch the press conference and that holiday is over, just like that. Back to reality. Hey, Melbourne people. Good morning, Susie. Hello, everybody. Hope you're all managing. It's shit. What can I say? Nothing really more than that. Interestingly, no, I'm not even going to go down that path. I might get back to that soon. But I want to tell you that I've been drinking. I ordered the best takeaway that I've had in a long time on Monday night. If you're in Sydney, listen up. So Sunday Potts Point, which is a restaurant, did a collaboration with Charco Ramen. And what they did was a roast chicken ramen. And you get the chicken already cooked, you've got to heat it up, you get to cook the noodles, you get this broth. It is absolutely beyond delicious. We all loved it, all of us. And we got a dessert, a cobbler, and it came with this little bottle of Fireball cinnamon whiskey. And I'm not a whiskey drinker at all, but I've had it on my bench. We didn't have it with the dessert. And every time I've been walking past since Monday night, I look at it and go, could have a little sip of that. Anyway, you can see I've had a few little sips. It's absolutely, and it is whiskey time. It is 11:35, and I thought of maybe having, like, at night, a little hot toddy, warm milk with a little splash of this. What do you think? This is really, really good. Has anyone ever tasted this? It's delicious. I could just drink this all day. It's called Cinnamon Whiskey Fireball. Just had to share that. So anyway, if I'm a little bit unclear this morning about what I'm saying, that's probably why, because I've been sipping on this morning. But you know what? That's that sort of a day. Because it's just shit out there. What can I say? Sigh. Someone told me, actually, and I wasn't going to tell you. This is the thing I wasn't going to tell you, but now I'm going to tell you. Someone messaged me or commented, I can't remember how it was last night, to say, love your cooking, but stop causing COVID or something like that. Stop spreading COVID or stop, I don't know. Anyway, blocked, gone, just like that. I am so happy that Prior 3582 approves of the toddy. I think that's what I'm going to do. Warm milk with a little splash of that would be good tonight. I think it'll help me sleep too. Well, I have been sleeping well. How have you been sleeping, people? Friends, tell me. How are you going in this time? Are you dealing, I think it's, we've got a long road ahead that we've all got to get through. And my good friend said to me yesterday on a walk that we need to not think about, oh my God, we're in lockdown, but just think of this is life for the moment and how can we make it the best we can. And I think that's a really good plan. So that's why I'm here. Yeah. Do you think that's what they mean by spreading joy? This. Is that what you mean? It's joy, actually. Anyway, I'm not recommending you drink a lot, but a little sip here and there doesn't hurt. That's what I've got to say. Yeah, people are sleeping, I see, terribly through not being active enough. Yeah, it's hard when you're not used to being out and about, right? Shopping, shops, running around, doing things, errands, work, in and out, different meetings, and suddenly, all from home, all in front of the computer, 1 hour a day of walking. Yeah, it's different. Anyway, but I'm going to thrill you today, I promise you, with this salad. If you've been to my house for lunch in the last, I'm going to say 5 years, you will have had this salad, okay? It's a salad that we all got sick of because I made it so much. You know that sort of salad. This is something that, it's actually in our third book, It's Always About the Food, which is the one, this one. But I'll tell you how it came about, because it's quite I'll tell you during the making, but I think we'll get going. It's in this book. But it's a salad that I created inspired by Greg Malouf. Greg Malouf is an amazing, amazing chef. He makes the most delicious Lebanese and Middle Eastern food. He's really talented. And I was inspired by his Turator salmon, which is the salmon with the yogurt and the herbs on top. And this salad today is from that, in a way. It was born of that, okay, if you know what I mean. All right, let's go through the ingredients and I'll chat along the way, because otherwise I could just stand here, you know, and talk for an hour, which is really what I like to do. Forget cooking, I'm going to just stand here and chat to you. I love it. All these people, you know, I was telling someone, this is like a family we've created. All of you there who are listening to me, who are typing little things to me, this is a new family we've created. It's a real cooking community and I love being part of it, and I love having you all in my kitchen every morning. It's just fantastic. You can send me questions about the recipes. You can DM me on Instagram, Monday Morning CC. I am the one answering, so you can just send me a message that way, or through Facebook, either way. I'm quicker at answering on Instagram. I'm a bit slow on Facebook, I'm sorry to say. Don't know why. All right, let's talk about this salad. So we're going to use quinoa today, and you can use either just the white quinoa or quinoa, as my mother calls it, or the tricolour one. I like either. And I haven't used it for ages because we really got sick of it, because this salad was literally twice a week in our house and it was just too much. But I'm excited to have it again because I've really, really missed the flavour of this salad, and you'll see how good it is. So you put on some boiling water. We've got a lovely medium-sized pot of boiling water. We're going to salt it, of course. Every time we cook a grain, a pasta, a rice, we're going to salt the water. And I'm using, of course, the Olsen's cooking salt for this. So this is the coarse grain salt that I keep in my salt pig. And I'm going to salt it quite generously so it tastes of the sea. And we turn it on to boil, okay? Just like cooking pasta. I know there are recipes to cook quinoa by steaming it. It's too complicated for me. Honestly, this is so much easier. We're going to boil it for 10, 12 minutes. Rinse it, drain it. Okay, so bring that to the boil. Good morning, Deb. Thank you, Nebulous 2001. I'm glad that I'm your daily highlight. You guys are my daily highlight, I got to be honest. Don't tell Danny I said that, because I spend the rest of the day and the night with him. But this is fantastic. Okay, no quantity of water, just like pasta, just a saucepanful, okay? Just lots of water so that your quinoa can boil and boil and boil. You know, when I was in South America years ago, I saw a quinoa plant. I was walking along this bush track somewhere in Chile, and I saw how the quinoa's grown, and it's amazing on this plant, the little quinoa seeds or grains. It's quite amazing. Hey Claire, how you doing? So nice to have all the regulars here, and the newbies. Welcome everybody, really. It's fun. If you're new to this, this is how it goes. Basically, I just talk about whatever, and we cook a bit. We cook a lot. We talk a bit, you know. Yes, I'm glad you've turned Dan Andrews off. I saw that he was doing 11:15 press conference today, and I thought, you know, that's really, really inconsiderate of him, because my thing's at 11:30. And I worried that he didn't consider the Melbourne people that are going to come here at 11:30, they're going to be busy listening to him, you see. And now Deb is late because she was listening to Dan Andrews. Anyway, glad you're here. Hey, Calm, we've missed you. Where have you been? On holidays, I think you said. Calm is in Canada. Yeah. Okay. All right, it's fun chatting to you guys. All right, let's get back to cooking, shall we? Okay, my water is boiling, but I'm first going to pickle my onion, okay? Let's go through the ingredients. We've got quinoa. We've got a red onion, which I'm going to do a quick pickle. I've got a slow pickle. I've always got them in the fridge. That's for another day. But this is a quick pickle, which I love, okay? We're going to start with that. We're going to need some fresh herbs, lots of them. We need parsley, mint, coriander, if you're a coriander fan. I am leaving my coriander out today because Danny doesn't like it. So I'm going to show you, this is coriander. I'm not going to use it, okay? I'm going to put it aside. But lots of fresh herbs. I'm using double the parsley, mint, rocket, okay? We're going to need lemon juice, olive oil, walnuts, a little red chilli if you like things spicy, and some ground sumac. Now, sumac is a berry. It's the fruit of a bushy shrub, actually, grown in the Mediterranean and Middle East. And buy it as a spice. It's ground. Be careful, it goes off, and when it goes off, it tastes yuck. And you make your whole salad and put your sumac in and ruin the whole thing. So make sure it's fresh. You know, spices, ground spices just don't last for ages and ages. Be aware of that. Okay, we'll go through the quantities of everything in a minute. I'm going to do the onion first. As you can see, and those who have been with me for a while know me by now, if I chop an onion in my kitchen, I'm going to use a green board, okay? I would never chop fruit on a green board. I'm only chopping things on a green board that I don't mind if they're tainted with garlic and onion, because this is what I use this for, okay? So green board, favourite onion knife, with of course my Victorinox steak knife. Can you substitute sumac for something else? You can just leave it out. What else would you like to flavour your salad with? That's what you need to think of. What? I don't think a ground spice would be necessary. You could put a little bit of, no, I wouldn't do anything. I would just actually leave it out. It just adds a special something, but you don't need to replace that special something with something else. Just a thought. Leave it out. Okay, so I'm just going to slice this onion. I'm an onion addict. I love onions. Okay, so if you couldn't find sumac in the supermarket, really just leave it out this time. Taste your salad without it and see what you might like to add. I can't think off the top of my head what I would use to replace it. You know, you've got chilli, you've got lemon, you've got salt and pepper, you've got beautiful fresh herbs, and then you're going to add some tuna or something on top of it. I think we can leave it out just for today. See if you can order it online. Go onto Herbie's Spices if you're in Australia. They do the most beautiful spices and they deliver. Okay, so I'm going to slice the onion. Now, there's a thing about onion, and I'm going to talk about this tomorrow when we actually fry onions. But if you cut an onion along the grain, like that way, and you're cooking them, your pieces are going to stay more as pieces of onion. If you cut it the other way, they're going to fall apart more. That's just an onion thing, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. Okay, so Deb said, what about a bit of lemon zest? Yep, I think that's a great idea to add to your salad anyway. Both of you, yeah, thank you everybody. Yep, everyone thinks you should put lemon zest in your salad. Even with it, if you have sumac, I think lemon zest would be a lovely addition. Okay, let me just focus for a minute on the onion, and I'm going to cut it along the grain into slices. So I want it sliced because I want to see the onion slices in my salad, and I'm doing them reasonably finely, not mandolin finely, but reasonably finely, okay? Probably about 20 slices per onion half, and this is a small onion. I just love the onion. I think it is fantastic. Yeah, someone's recommended za'atar. That's actually a good idea too. The za'atar would be nice. Za'atar's got a very strong flavour though, and lots of flavours that I don't know that I want in this. Sumac is very subtle. And it's not we don't want an overpowering flavour. What I would like you to do is to taste the salad without the sumac and say to yourself, what could this do with? I think that's better before you add anything else. Lemon zest is fine because it's, you know, in keeping with everything. All right, I'm just going to slice the second half of this onion. Anyone cooking along today, let me know if anybody's cooking with me. Would love to know, because this is an easy one. We'll be ready in, I was going to say 2 hours. No, we'll be ready in maybe 20 minutes. You know, it's not a long one. Depends how much I talk. I know, I talk a lot. I do like talking. I do love a chat. You know, especially in these times when we're not seeing friends and we're all here together chatting. I like it. I know that I'm chatting and you're not, but you know what I mean. You are typing and you are sending me hearts and waves, which is a chat. It is a conversation of sorts. Okay, onions are done. Beautiful. I'm just going to get a little bowl and pop my onion in. And of course, if you've already got pickled onions in the fridge, you can use those. But these are just different. My pickled onions in the fridge have a different flavour. Now, I'm going to add to this a little bit of salt, okay? I'm going to use my Olsen's Blossoms flaky salt in this. Just about a half a teaspoon of salt. A little bit of lemon juice, probably 2 teaspoons. and a little drizzle of olive oil. Okay. Glad to see you guys are cooking along. You can make the salad way in advance. It lasts really well, surprisingly. It really does. I can eat it for days, literally. It almost works well having a bit of time ahead. Happy Helena is cooking, that's great. And now I'm going to massage it like we did with the cabbage the other day. I'm just going to massage the lemon and the salt and the olive oil into my onion and let it sit. And it just needs to pickle for as long as it takes you to do the rest of the salad. I love onion. I'm really an onion fan. So this just makes my mouth water. Really does. Who loves onion as much as I do? I spoke to someone yesterday who hates onion and I said, well, it just might be the end of the friendship. Hold on, I've got to get Chucks to wipe my hands. Sorry. We'll be back. All right, onion just needs to sit aside just like this. I'm going to put a tiny bit more lemon. I just want it to be a little bit wetter. It just wasn't quite wet enough. Okay, so this is what I want. Okay, a lovely wet oniony mixture. Now, if you don't want to use lemon for that, you can also use some red wine vinegar or white wine vinegar, because it really, we're just using something acidic to do a quick pickle, and it just changes it. I think it changes it. You know, onion gives a lot of people sore tummies. This helps it. It gets that I don't know what of the onion. It fixes it somehow. I'm not very scientific, so I don't know. Okay, so that's it. Now let's cook the quinoa. My water is boiling, and I'm going to use white quinoa today. Okay. You know what, Celia, you are so right. Chucks should sponsor my lives. I was looking for a sponsor. I use Chucks all the time. They're my best things for wiping, for cleaning, for straining my chicken soup, for making labna. I think that's a great idea. I'm going to call Chucks. It's a good idea. Okay, let's go. So 3/4 cup of white quinoa. It's one of those days. Into the pot. So we're cooking it like we cook pasta, okay? This is we're not steaming it. We don't have to measure the water. Now I've got quinoa everywhere. And you know what I'm going to do? I think it's time for another sip of this, because you know what? I love it. For those of you who just come on, I'm drinking this Fireball cinnamon whiskey. Just makes you feel, you know, relaxed. What can I say? All right. Boiling. Let's put the timer on. 10 minutes. And I'll show you the way to tell it's cooked. You can tell by looking. You also need to taste a bit. But the little grain that's like a little ball opens up, and it becomes like a little quinoa flour thing. You'll see what I mean. That's how you tell it's cooked, okay? And it sort of changes from all uniform colour, which this is, to little opaque bits that open up. Okay, here we go. I'm going to give it a stir. Hold on a second. Just like you would pasta. It's just boiling away. All right, onion is pickling. Quinoa is cooking. Let's go to the herbs. The name of the restaurant where I got the whiskey and the ramen was Sunday Potts Point. So if you look up their website, and they've got takeaway menu, and I ordered the roast chicken ramen. It was so good. Okay, so maybe your quinoa says to rinse first, but maybe that's because you're steaming it, okay? And it's a different thing. I'm boiling it, and so there's sort of no need to rinse it if you're boiling it in lots of water. I'm not steaming it, okay? Let's talk about all the herbs we're going to chop now. So I guess you have to pick the leaves off, and it's very hard to avoid doing that, because you don't want to eat these mint stalks. They're yuck, okay? Maybe a little parsley. So I'm just going to pick off the leaves, which is just honestly my worst job in the kitchen. It's so boring. And I find it, every time I have to do it, I'm like, oh, really? It's sort of thing you want to put a book on Audible and listen to it, or listen to a podcast, or do something if you've got lots to do. But I'm only making a little salad today, so it's not so much. So I'm going to take the mint leaves off. The parsley I can get away with using some of the small stalks, but mint you really can't. These stalks are not very palatable, I'm sorry to say. This mint is lovely. Of course it's been washed and dried very well. Salad spinners are great, but I also find just washing them and wrapping them in a tea towel, like an absorbent tea towel, is really good to dry things well before you use them, or paper towel. These were washed yesterday and they've been in a paper towel in the fridge overnight, and they're just lovely. So, mint, and you know, the recipe calls for a handful. If you don't want to use quinoa, Wendy, sure, there's actually lots of options. You can go as simple as brown rice. You can go farro, you can go freekeh, any of the grains, anything like that. Is it because you don't like quinoa or you don't have it? I wonder. If, as I said in my Instagram post, you know, some people think quinoa, whatever, but it's really yum in this salad. It really takes on the dressing and goes so well with the herbs. Okay, so I've chopped my mint. I'm going to do the same with the parsley, but I'm going to be a bit lazier because I like to take shortcuts. And I don't mind chopping those stalks for the salad because I am going to chop it. So, you know, just go through. You've got to take your time though. You can't do this in a hurry, I'm sorry to say. As much as I want to. Oh, hey Christina. So nice to see some Melbourne friends here. Oh, Wendy, you don't like it. Quinoa. Okay. I urge you, just like I urged someone last week who didn't want to put spice in their Dutch spice biscuits, to try it. Try it once. Will you try it once and see if you like it in this salad? It's so, so good. Maybe you've just had bad quinoa somewhere. It's really, really worth having. And apparently it's really good for you. I think it's a protein. Is it a protein and a carb, one of those things? Or is it just a protein? I don't know. I think it's really delicious. Okay. All right. So let's pull off all our leaves. What else can I tell you now? I'm pulling off parsley leaves. Parsley is the only thing I can successfully grow in my garden. I had lots of everything. Parsley and bay are the only things that have survived. I don't have a green thumb at all. Thank you, Celia. And I think Jen also said protein, pure protein. So it's good for you. So there you go. So for those of you who don't think you like it, just try again. Wendy, try again, please, just for me. Just cook a little bit and see what you think. All right, now I'm getting bored of this, so I'm just like, it's quite a chore, isn't it? I have to change my attitude. It's not a chore, it's a therapeutic activity. And I'm happy to give you guys the opportunity to tell everybody that today you watched Lisa pick parsley, and that was really fun. Sorry, okay. All right, here we go. A mixture of brown rice and quinoa. That's a good idea. I think that's a great idea to get you used to the idea of quinoa. So just not plain quinoa. But this quinoa is really mixed with so many yummy things in this salad, and it'll soak up all the beautiful dressing, I should say. See, I've had 3 sips of whiskey and I can't even talk anymore. I'm getting impatient with this. I shouldn't be. All right, we're nearly there. Look, nearly finished. I love parsley. I grew up in a house without green herbs, as many of you have heard before, and you know, dill was the only thing we knew of in the pickled cucumber jar. And so to come to Sydney, which I did in my 20s, and be shown this whole world of green herbs that I never knew existed is just phenomenal. So it took me a long time to come to understand how fantastic parsley was. You know, we did have that curly parsley in our chicken soup. So I did have that, but that's not a herb worth counting, sorry to say. All right, that'll do me. Done. Gone. We're also going to need some rocket, and this is the baby rocket that I love. If you use the big bunches of rocket, that's also fine. We're chopping them anyway. And I want it all on my chopping board like this. And again, I can keep using my green board because I'm happy to have an onion flavour on it. You know, so Lisa said that, Lisa's asked me, have I always been a good cook? Well, how do you know I'm a good cook? You know, it's all just smoke and mirrors. You've never really tasted my food, so it just may not be even good. But thank you for asking that. You know what, I've always loved, my claim to fame really, if I'm honest, is that I've always loved eating. Like always. I've always been a person who just talks, thinks, dreams about food all the time. And so through that, I learnt to cook. From as a kid, you know, kids' cookbooks, baked animal-shaped biscuits, that was probably my first thing. I used to have, I'm going to start chopping, so I'm going to get my big knife out for this because that little Victorinox will just take too long, bloody ages. You need a big knife, and I'm just going to just chop like this, okay? And just keep putting it like that. Watch your fingers aren't in the way, just like this. Oh, was I swinging the knife? Thanks, Jen. I'm going to watch that. Okay, now I'm fully in control here. Mostly. All right. So I am watching while I chop. You know that. So I want to tell you a funny thing. So when I was growing up, one of my best friends, Lil, she used to come over every Saturday night, and I used to make us dinner. And we were probably 12, and I used to make us, and people who are my age will know this, okay? I used to make Kookaburra brand macaroni. That was the only dry pasta you could get. There was a bolognese sauce that came in a can, and it was called Sugar Doro, and it was unbelievable. And we had the Kraft Parmesan in the green tub. That was dinner, and I used to make that for a few years, and that's what I grew up on, and I loved it. So anyway, and then I started cooking and moved to Sydney and cooked and cooked and cooked and went to a million cooking classes at Accoutrement in Sydney and learnt from all the very best chefs, Damien Pinelay and Greg Doyle and Marika Brugman and, you know, lots and lots of them. And Belinda Jeffrey, just loved those classes. And that's how I learnt to cook. Thank you, Wendy. Wendy says, you're a good cook. I have all your books. They're the only ones I use. Yeah. Thank you. I think that our books are so useful for the home cook. I mean, they're the ones that I use. I pretty much don't cook anything else but stuff from our books because I think it's just fantastic to use recipes that come from people's homes, you know. Okay, now I'm going to concentrate because everyone's getting nervous of me with the big knife and the whiskey. But I promise you I'm fully in control here. Okay, and I want this to be a rough-ish chop, okay? I want to know that they're leaves. I want to know that they're herbs. It's not a fine chop, but I don't want big whole leaves. So I'm just trying to chop it so that it's a nice size, okay? And you need a big knife for this, okay? I'm just trying to read and chop at the same time. Hey, Lisa just arrived. I am making a herb and quinoa salad for lunch. It's going to be delicious. I keep telling everyone it's going to be delicious, I promise you. Oh, that's my quinoa timer. Let's have a look. And you can see what I mean. It sort of looks like little, can I explain what that is? Little white bits come out, like little circles. And one more minute. It's a little bit, a tiny, tiny bit crunchy. I'm going to give it 1 minute, and then I'm going to rinse it, and I'm going to drain it under cold water, okay? So we're all going to do that together if you're cooking along. If you're steaming it, obviously you do not need to rinse it, which is why you will have rinsed it beforehand to get whatever, I don't know why they want you to rinse it before steaming. There must be a reason. All right, this is just about done. So big knife, lots of herbs. I've got my mint, my parsley, and my rocket here. And if I was using coriander, it would be in there as well, okay? But I'm being kind to Danny this week and making it without coriander for him. All right, I think that's good. I'm just going to leave you for a second. I'm going to take this to the sink and I'm going to rinse it and drain it quickly. You'll have to chat amongst yourselves for a moment. I have to go over to the sink. Okay, draining, cold water. Rinse, rinse, rinse. Okay. Okay, that's it. So it's It's now cooked, and you can see that it looks different from when it was raw. It's like their little shells have opened up in each little quinoa grain. It's quite interesting. Jennifer, I don't know if I prefer the texture of steaming. It just doesn't matter for this salad. You're going to dress it. It's going to be mixed with herbs. I don't know why steaming would be better. I just don't know. So Mary Me says it's bitter if you don't rinse it. That's good to know. Okay, so let me have a taste again. Yum. It's really delicious, just on its own, cooked in salted water. I know, Wendy, you've got a way to go to be in that position because you don't like it, but I love it already. Okay, can you substitute buckwheat for quinoa? Yes, absolutely. Any grain would work really well. Brown rice, freekeh, which I love, farro, which I love, kasha, buckwheat would be really good. Anything that is a grain goes really well with it. Okay, so we have, what am I missing? Walnuts. Okay, so I've got my herbs chopped. I want you to see they're chopped quite roughly, but no big leaves, okay? Jessie, Jessie, my daughter, can you deliver me some for dinner? If there's any left, no, there won't be. You know what? I might make you some more. So, walnuts. We need however many walnuts you like. Let's say 2/3 of a cup, just because that's the amount. Well, this is 3/4. I love walnuts. Honestly, I can never have too many in a salad. The question is, do you want to toast them or not? The original recipe from Greg Malouf when he did his Taratos salmon is he toasted them. I've got to tell you, I don't love what happens to walnuts when you toast them. And if they're not really, really, really fresh, it brings out the oils, which makes them taste a bit yuck sometimes. Because walnuts are one of those things that many, many shops sell walnuts that are already rancid or halfway to being rancid. So I really prefer a fresh walnut to toasted, but it's up to you. So I'm keeping them fresh and I'm chopping them again. Hey, Jake.
Hi.
I'm chopping them again with my big knife. It's easier than the little knife, okay? And I really love them fresh rather than toasted. I don't know if anyone understands what I mean, feels the same way about the walnuts. There's something about toasted walnuts. You know, our carrot cake in the book from Angelique, in our first book and our fourth book, we entered it into the Australia's Best Carrot Cake competition a few years ago. Richard Cornish from the Sydney Morning Herald and The Age did it, and Angelique's cake won Best in Australia. But in the story that he told, and you can Google Richard Cornish Best Carrot Cake in Australia, he talks about the walnuts that he found in the supermarkets and stores when he was making the cakes. He said like they're all rancid, every single one of them. So you've got to buy your walnuts if you can. Coles are pretty good actually. I don't want to promote the supermarkets, but I find that anywhere that has a good turnover is going to have a good walnut. And if there are places that sell them in vats, have a taste. It's really important, because there's nothing worse than a rancid walnut. And then when you cook a rancid walnut, it's even worse. It's inedible. It really is, okay? So lovely raw walnuts in this, and these are really nice walnuts. And I've chopped them, I'll show you, like that, quite roughly, okay? Yes, arugula is the same as rocket. We call it rocket here. You guys in America call it arugula. This is true. All right, someone asked about barley. Barley's okay, it's just very hard to cook it so it's not mushy. So if you can do that, then it would be great. It's just really important to cook it till it's just undercooked, if you know what I mean, rather than over. All right, I've got my quinoa, I've got my chopped herbs and rocket. I have got my chopped walnuts. I have everything I need to make this salad. So all I need is, and where might it be? I did see it, a big bowl. Because oh, there it is. Every time, Jake, would you mind passing me that bowl? You want to come say hi?
Get me another one.
Thanks. Oh, did you take that for your lunch?
Can you pass me one then?
If you come and say hello. This is Jake. No, he doesn't want to say hello. Sorry, excuse me. Jake's having lunch. I have to say, I'm very proud that when Jake, who's 24, makes himself a salad for lunch, he gets a big bowl out. Like, I don't think I've even taught him that. He's just learnt that by osmosis. Can I actually give you that one? I'll have the big one. Because it's always better to make a salad in one of these bowls before you put it in your serving dish or even your individual dish. You just have a much better opportunity to toss. Okay, so I'm going to put in my quinoa, just like that. I'm going to add my herbs and my nuts. I've got this big giant board. Let's get it all in. Okay. Yeah, you know what? My kitchen is, Cuisine Dominique said my kitchen is, well, you know what? I've been here for 20 years, and this was the most important room in the house for me because I spend all day in here, and everything is where I want it to be. The bench height is even lower because I'm short. Like, it's just perfect. Yeah, Linda, he took my salad bowl, so now I've got another one, but that's okay. All right, so I've got everything in there. I've got the walnuts, the herbs and rocket, and the quinoa. Now, my pickled onions, let's see how that's going. You'll notice that it's changed colour slightly and softened, which is what we want. It's got a bit pinker, and it's just lost its harsh onion taste, which I love. I'm going to put, not all of it in, because I might use some for a garnish at the end. Okay, so that's everything I need for the basic salad. We're going to put chilli in. If you want to, you can slice the chilli. I'm going to leave it out today. Oh, no, I'm not. You know what? Let's put it in. I won't leave it out. Just grab another board. I'm just going to cut the chilli. I don't want the seeds in because I don't want it super hot. And again, perfect knife for chilli because it's serrated and it stops. It doesn't slip on something slippery like a chilli. You know what? Let's leave the seeds in. It's a nice surprise for Danny. All right. So I'm going to chop that up. Again, if you don't like spicy, just leave it out. Really, just leave it out. Okay. All right. Here we go. So I shouldn't read and chop. It's not good practice, is it? I need to concentrate. I can't be like those TV chefs who chop and look at other people. It makes me so nervous. All right. Chilli in. I don't need that end of it. Okay, let's get that mess away. Okay, so everything's in the bowl. Now, before I dress it, I'm going to give it a quick toss with my hands because I want it to combine before I add the dressing, okay? I think it's better to do that way so you don't have to mix and mix and mix. So I'm just going to give this a nice toss together. And it's just already a beautiful salad, and the smell of it already reminds me of how much we used to love it, and don't know why we stopped making it. Remember, we used to have it all the time, and then we haven't had it for ages.
I don't know parsley, or whatever it is. What is it?
Parsley and mint. What, you don't like the herbs in it?
No, it's too green.
Oh well. Looks like Jessie might be getting some for dinner. All right. Now I'm just going to wash my hands. Well, I'm going to wash them. And then we'll make the dressing. And the dressing is super simple. And really, if you ever only had one opportunity for one salad dressing in your whole life, I would take olive oil and lemon, I think, any time. Okay, so let's season. Pepper. Salt. Okay. And of course, I'm going to taste it in a minute. Now, let's talk about the dressing. So, we have got, for this amount, I'm going to go 60 mils of olive oil, which is 1/4 cup. Okay. And 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice. Okay. Seems like quite a lot of oil. So, what I'm going to do is actually just do it like this. I'm going to make the dressing in this. Okay. And 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice, which is 1/2 of 1/4 cup, so I can use this same thing. No, that's too much. See what happens? 3 sips of whiskey and I can't even do my dressing. So I've got double the olive oil to lemon juice. 1 part lemon juice, 2 parts olive oil. And I'm going to do 3/4 teaspoon of sumac. And if you don't have sumac, put in some lemon zest that has been suggested, which I think is a good suggestion, or just leave it out for the moment because I just want you to taste it first. Oh yes, so yeah, I love this too. It's from that shop, and I can't remember the name, in, I can't even remember the shopping centre, where QUINOA Books is in Sydney and George Street. There's a really nice shopping centre there, and at the top there's a Japanese department store that has beautiful things, and they have these great beakers, and I bought a couple of them, and they've lasted really well. They haven't broken yet, which is amazing, and the printing hasn't washed off like my Pyrex ones. So anyway, all right, enough of that. So let's mix this. I'm going to mix my dressing in here. I put it in here because I wasn't sure I was going to need it all. Galleries Victoria, I know, is that what it's called? It's where, yeah, I don't know, opposite QVB. No, do you know what it's called?
You know, like a little mall?
No, it's a really nice shopping centre. There's I can't think. I just can't. Okay. So I'm going to put the dressing on. Oh, you know what? All of it's fine. Okay. Ignore all that measuring. Didn't need to do that. Okay. So this is it. Use your hands or not, or a spoon. Yum. Like yum. Just absolutely yum. This is a great salad. Now, I know you're not going to believe me because it's got fresh herbs in it, and you're not going to believe me that it lasts well in the fridge, but it really, really does. It really works. Lasts for days. Just perfect. Chili's great. It's got enough lemon. Got enough salt. Have a taste and think about what it's missing. Like, do you need more salt, more pepper, more onion, more lemon? No, happy with everything. Okay, now we're going to go really, really fancy. Yeah, so Maureen says the same thing. I think we should start a lawsuit against Pyrex because they sell us these heat-proof, dishwasher-proof jugs, but I don't know about you, but all the measurements have washed off. And it's annoying. So you've got glass jugs with nothing. Anyway, anyone agree with me? Anyone feel that Pyrex pain? All right, I'm using Sirena chili tuna. That's our favourite family tuna. Don't know if you're tuna fans or not, but I really, really am. And I know you shouldn't eat it too much because of mercury, but you know what? A couple of times a week I think is all right. Drain it a bit. And again, you don't need to drain it too much because there's nothing wrong with that oil in there. It's actually quite delicious. And I think for this amount of salad, you might need a bigger tuna can than this one. But anyway, we'll see how we go. So I'm just going to take it out. Now, originally the rest of this was with grilled salmon, but I'm having a problem with salmon at the moment, as we know, and so I'm not cooking with salmon as much as I used to until I can buy Tasmanian salmon again. I don't know if you've been following the news, but Twiggy Forrester's looking at taking a bigger stake of Huon, and he's, I think, interested in welfare of animals and fish, and also conserving the environment. So maybe it's going to be a good thing. We've got to watch this space. I know that there's a takeover from a giant meat company, international company, that wants to take Huon over as well. So, you know, I don't know. All right, so this is just back to this. So that's why today we're having tuna, okay? Is it Muji, the shop? I don't know. I can't remember what the name is, but I want to look it up because I want to buy more of those jugs online. I don't think it's Muji. I don't think it is. All right, so that's it. This is my tuna salad, done and delicious. I'm going to get my little bowl. This is the bowl I have my salad in for lunch. And I'm going to show you how delicious and lovely it is. And I'm going to garnish it with, and of course, if it's just you at home, like me at home, do we need to garnish it? But, you know, it's up to you. I think it's always nice to make it a bit special. And I think the onions look nice to garnish it with because they're like a different colour. No, I can't think of the name of that. No, it's not, definitely not Uniqlo. I have to, you know what, I'm going to think about it and tell you tomorrow. I'm going to look it up. Marilyn will know, my co-author, because we went there together. It's just one level up from QUINOA Books. Here is my delicious tuna salad for lunch. can't think of a better lunch. You've got your protein, you've got lots of fresh green herbs, you've got a little bit of crunch from the onion, spice from the chili, tuna from a can. It's so easy. Just bloody delicious. I love it. I could just eat this whole bowl in about 2 minutes. One sec, Danny. Alright. So, that's it from me. If you want, you can always sprinkle it with a little more sumac, which is really nice. So I'm going to use the other end of my fork, you'll be pleased to know. Just sprinkle a bit of the sumac on. It also looks really nice. Alright. Sorry, I've got walnuts and quinoa in my mouth and very hard to talk. Alright, I use canned tuna because it's just a lunch. It's just today. We're all in lockdown. I was going to do grilled fish with it, and I thought, you know what? I would eat it with tuna, so let's just do it with tuna today. I hope you like it, and I hope... I want to take a photo. Oh, okay. All right. I'm just giving it to Danny, who's been waiting, pacing the room. So that's it. Quinoa herb salad with fancy Sirena chili tuna. It has been great to be with you today. And I think that whoever's idea it was to get sponsored by Chuck's, I think it was Celia, is actually so good. I'm going to go call Chuck's now. Anyway, thank you all for being with me, and hopefully I won't need to finish this today. I think that'll do me. What do you think? Maybe one more sip when we go. I'm going to be back tomorrow making blue-orange salad with chicken and caramelized onions. Get ready for this one. Yes, Aura, please ask an unrelated question, as long as I can. Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Deb, for being here. It's been fun. I feel very connected to all of you. It's really like a lovely family. Yeah, everybody. Lulush show. Thank you for being here too. Everybody, it's been great. Aura, what's your question? I'm ready. I'm waiting. Just waiting for your question. Thank you, Deb. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. I want to know what you think of this salad. Please send me your pics or post them on Instagram, because I really would like to repost them. So I have lost... Oh, Denise, I'm glad you got on. Good to see you here. Do we need to do anything ahead tomorrow, Melanie? Nope, nothing. Just buy the ingredients. Chicken, onions, whatever's on the list, I can't remember. Bit of rocket. Going through a lot of rocket this week, but I do love it. No, you know what? Or why don't you send me a DM and I'll answer you, because I don't quite know what you mean. Okay? Thank you, Beck, for being here as well, and thank you, everyone. Tomorrow is colour day, so you'll be baking colour. Well, I won't be. I'm going to be making chicken salad. Or not making colour. Oh, maybe I will. We'll see. Why did your pierogan open up? Good question. You know what? Sometimes they do. You've really got to seal them well. You can't have too much flour on that edge. The reason they open up is two. It's not sealed properly. One, and two is you've got too much filling. I know it's so hard not to put filling in. I know, I get that. But you've got to put 3/4 of the filling that you did, because the filling expands as it heats and opens them. Anyway, all right. Thank you all. See you all tomorrow. Have a good afternoon. Get some sun if you can. Get out and have a walk. Hang in there. We'll be back tomorrow. And I'm planning next week. Next week's going to be fun and delicious too. Perhaps not as healthy. Anyway, see you all. Bye.